What's good, YouTube? It is I, Croc Thrasher, back with a banger. We're gonna do a tier list of the weapons in Wilds. Uh, well, it doesn't say Wilds, but it's the Monster in Wilds tier list. I'm gonna judge all the weapons here and put them in where I think they belong and how fun they are, the utility that they have, like how good the utility is, how easy it is to access the utility and how fluid and seamless it is. And honestly, give my 2 cents on, why I think the weapon may be bad or good, right? So the first weapon is the Charge Blade. I have many thousands of hours on Charge Blade. I want to put it in A, but I think it deserves to be an S because, um, well, if you know how to play the Charge Blade, right? The Charge Blade in Wilds didn't really change much. But they made it way more seamless now, and I think that many Charge Blade mains will really enjoy this Charge Blade. Um, for the fact that you can just guard point every time, and you don't use. It doesn't seem like you use any stamina. It doesn't seem like when you do a perfect guard, it doesn't seem like you use stamina. It doesn't seem like you use HP. Um, Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I wasn't really paying attention to the stuff. But when I looked at recording, it doesn't look like you use stamina. Um, but yeah, the perfect blanc, all the new moves, the suit, the three SADs is cool. Savage X modes, the files not being used and all that. Like all of that in conjunction, just makes that a really good weapon. So I'm gonna put that S. It's fun. It's cool to use. It looks cool. It's just a package bundle of joy. Now the bow, I think the bow is good. I think the bow, always has always been good. I think the bow will always be good unless they ruin it. But I think in this game, I think the bow is gonna be good. You don't even need dash juice. I feel like personally anymore. Uh, the From what I remember playing, you barely like when charging back the bow, you barely use any stamina. Maybe I'm tripping, but it seemed like you barely use any stamina. And on top of that, if you just press like dodge in a certain direction when the monster is about to hit you, basically adept dodge from Generations, you literally gain stamina from that. So, and like that is amazing. The focus strike, um, is okay. You have to have a lot of wounds. You have to lock on it. The focus strike isn't really too good. At least personally, I think so, because you actually have to see the spots, and if the spot is like in a spot where you can't see the spot, you can't really get the benefits of the focus strike with the bow. But I think the bow is still always a pretty good weapon. Literally only because of the dodge. Another weapon with the dodge is this weapon, the dual blades. Now normally I would put the dual blades in D tier, but I think the dual blades is fun. I think it's fun the way you can like keep pressing triangle and circle and doing it. It's like a dance. It's like um you're actually playing with the demon gauge, and you can do the adapt dodge too, and the focus strike is fun and flashy. It barely uses, for some reason this weapon barely uses it seems like it barely uses sharpness, which was surprising to me. And they reworked this weapon, and it feels fun to play. The next weapon would be Greatsword. I think the Greatsword is really good, has good offset. Um, I don't know if the dual blades and the bow have offsets. I didn't really when I play. I never really used it or looked at it, but I don't think they do. But the Greatsword though, the Greatsword. When I first picked up this weapon, I almost fell in love, and it almost made me want to switch what I'm gonna play when Wilds drop. The Greatsword is so damn fluid that you could just keep throwing out attacks without even needing to like put your weapon away. That's how good it is. Because if you just land an offset, you it does like a move where you pull yourself forward, you do a double slam, and that double slam goes straight into a TTS. You land the TTS, boom, the monster gets staggered. Then you can just you could do another move. Oh no, you could do the let's say after those two hits, the wound is there, or like on the face and the arm, wherever you hit, right? You could just do the wound move like in tandem, brrr, and then go straight into another TTS. It's so fluid, and you have clash, you have offset. It works, it works. Especially when they add skills that allow you to block faster, which I think they did will. Uh, I think this is gonna be a really good weapon, and the way you can like turn the focus thing, where you could turn. Same thing with the charge blade and all the other weapons. Like you can turn now with the focus attack, the focus mode. Sorry, the focus mode. You can turn. Just makes this weapon just like a beast. It just makes it a beast. And the amount of range you get, like how your character moves forward when he attacks, is also amazing as well. Like it just feels powerful. The gun lance, the gun lance A tier. I wanted to put it in S tier, but mm, I'll put it in. I want to put it in S tier. All right, I want to put it in S tier only because you can, like the perfect block, the reloading animation of the gun lance is like if you use like if the monster's about to hit you and you reload by holding R2 and circle and you do that reload animation. If the monster hits you while you're doing that, you do a perfect block, and then you can just instantly follow it up uh with a ground burst. You know what I mean? And then your playstyle can just literally just be that, just perfect blunt ground burst, perfect blunt ground burst. You know what I mean? So this weapon is a lot simple, and allowing the weapon to block now. Um, like back in the day, your weapon didn't really block. On Generations it did. But in World and Rise it kind of did too. In World, you didn't really block much. You usually just hopped and just got around, just use your shelling and stuff like that. I'm gonna just put an A tier. I think it fits comfortably in A tier, but it can be an S tier if depending on how you see it. I think it's I'm gonna just leave it an A tier because um I think the focus strike on it is really bad. I think like it's not bad as in like it's dog garbage or it's garbage, but it's like it takes too long to whip out, to transform it, and then drag it on the monster's face. It takes too long to do that. But other than that, I mean, your bread and butter is really just gonna be the perfect guard slam. Follow it up with the bunch of wyvern stakes you could do into full burst or wyvern blast, like that whole combo by just pressing R2 triangle circle constantly and just keep doing that flow is nice too. But it does a lot of damage for sure, but you really realistically aren't going to be hitting that. You can throw blocks in the middle of the combo, sorta, but I'm just leaving an A tier. Hammer, I think hammer's super easy. um I played one hammer. I fought Ray Dow with it, and the little dodge that it has when you're in mid charge, like you can charge and you could do like a little grapple on the ground and pull yourself to it. That has iframes, so that's amazing. It has a lengthy amount of iframes too, from what it seems like. From like the moment you press it to like the end of it, it feels like that's how much iframes it has. I don't know the math on that, but it seems like it has a lot. Um, it was very easy to use, especially against Ray Dow. Super easy to use actually. I think this weapon is probably the easiest weapon to use. Um, and I'm gonna talk about another weapon too, because I also think the another weapon is also like super easy to use. Like if Charge Blade is like one of the harder weapons to use, but you can get insane damage with it. Hammer is like the same way, but it's on the easier side. It's like, oh yeah, you don't gotta use the Charge Blade, but you know, just bonk. Just sit back, bonk, charge up, and just bonk. You barely consume any stamina. The earthquake move, the focus strike move is always good. Um, no, everything about this weapon is good. Like the way you can do spinny bludgeon, and the way you can do spinny bludgeon and just Keep going, let it flow. You know, just keep on chaining combos and stuff like that. It's sick. Heavy bowgun. A. Nothing too much about it. You could block. It has rapid fire ammo now. I mean, I feel like we didn't. I feel like the game didn't really give you a good heavy bowgun to use, so this could change in the future. But I think A. I think A is pretty reliable. Or B. I think B is pretty reliable. Um, I didn't really play this weapon much because I thought it was boring personally, but I think it's B. I know it's a very strong weapon for sure. And when the full game comes out, we're probably gonna see sticky ammo and stuff like that again. I think it's B. I have nothing else to say about it. It's basically the same thing as World, except for a little extra add-ons. It's nothing special. Um, Hunting Horn, Hunting Horn A. I actually like this weapon. I like this weapon more than the dual blades. I like the fact that you could just put down bubbles. The boat whenever you play a note, it vibrates, and there's like the supersonic move or whatever it's called. You can just press R2 when you get the supersonic and just keep pressing it like 3 or 4 times, and it's just like a little dance. It's like hey, it's like a little dance. It's nice. It's cool. Um, it's a fun little thing. It's actually pretty fun to use. Compared to Worlds Hunting Horn, I think World Hunting Horn players will really like this a lot. Like I'm not even kidding. Like I think if you're not a hunting gun player and you pick up this weapon, you'll probably just understand it immediately. Insect glaive. Oh, the focus strike is good too. This whole weapon is just a groove. It's just a groove. Insect glaive. I played this weapon like 5 times. I didn't really understand it, bruh. I really didn't. I didn't understand it. Um, I don't think this weapon has an offset. Definitely doesn't have a clash. It just lost its identity personally. Now I'm sure like you could probably you know you could probably make this weapon good in the future. Remember, it's just a beta, so things could change. But as of right now, I didn't understand it, and I kind of just threw it away. So sorry, guys. And the way you use the focus mode, and the way you use the Kensec, kind of like it's too many buttons to press at the same time. It kind of just felt clunky in a sense. Lance. Now, the lance that they gave us was pretty bad. The lance that they gave us is pretty bad. I'm not gonna put this here. I'm gonna put this in C. I'm gonna put this in C. Nah, I'm gonna put it in D. Nah, lance though. Lance. I think the lance they gave us is pretty bad. Um, Only because everything else can do like you know chunks. And this does like 10 to 12 damage pokes, and the occasional 30 when you do like certain moves. Um, but I want to put this weapon. I want to put this weapon like here, top of B, going into A. You could probably put that right there. There, I think this weapon, when we actually get a feel for builds and stuff, I think this weapon has uh a lot of potential. It's still one of the best weapons in the game, don't get me wrong, but I think the lens that they gave us is bad in the demo. The moves though, the moves like the triple poke, and you could just keep poking, and the focus modes and all that stuff. The focus strike mode is actually pretty. If you're just hitting the face all the time or the legs, you'll always land the focus strike, therefore landing just a ton of burst damage. I'm gonna just put an A. I think it's good. I think it's really good actually. Um, there's nothing much to really say. You don't really you got the perfect guard. You got the power block. You barely even need to use the power block anymore since you have the perfect guard. You have the triple thrust after a triple thrust. If that makes sense, you press triangle 3 times, and then on your fourth triangle, you'll do like like an extra quick uh burst of three thrusts. It's nice. It feels fun. It feels nice. And the perfect plug, honestly, just like the cherry on top. It's nice. Light bowgun, same thing. Same thing as this one. Maybe put the head because like I think light bowgun is better, slightly better. Nothing too special. I didn't play the longsword, but from what next weapon, I didn't play the longsword, but everyone says it's like really good, so I'm gonna just put it there. Uh, yeah. From what I've seen, you can cancel out a Helmbreaker. All you gotta do is hold R2 to get to red gauge. Press R2 like 3 times. Hold R2 like 3 times to get to red gauge. I think from what I've just seen clips of this weapon just killing, doing stupid damage. I don't play the weapon anymore though, since they reworked it into this abomination. But you know, I think everyone says it's really good, so I'm gonna put an S tier. And from the speedruns that I saw, I think I can easily agree with that. Switch X has two offset moves. Um, uh, bro, there's nothing in C. What the hell? All these weapons are good, guys. All these weapons are good. Um, Switch X. I like this weapon, but I like the reworks as well. I think I think for the beta, from what they gave us, I think it stays in B. But when the full game comes out, when I get it full built with this, I think it can go to A, because this weapon has potential of being like insane elemental. The new move sets that we have, like the two offsets you could do, are pretty simple to do. Um, the focus strike is good. The focus strike doesn't really, the focus mode, like aiming with it, doesn't really affect it much. You can, use the focus mode, and then when the monster's about to hit you, do the offset move almost like instantly after that. So that is something you can do if that's how you want to play. Um, but yeah, in sword mode, you can do an offset move as well. This weapon's good. This weapon's good. I'm gonna put it higher. This weapon's good. Try yeah, I like that. Now, last one, Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield is good, guys. Sword and Shield is easy mode. That's the tier list. Sword and Shield is just easy mode, guys. It's the same way as Hammer. Sword and Shield and Hammer are just like, it's easy mode. From what I played, it's easy mode. You can easily get the focus strike. You don't even need to do the focus mode because your attacks are just so fluid, and every single weapon here, well, all the melee weapons, they all have like omnidirectional looking or whatever. I think that's how you say it. It's kind of like when if my character's looking forward, right, and I'm attacking forward, and I use my left stick and I turn it back and I keep attacking, my character's gonna look back with the left stick. Like, you don't have to use the focus mode for this. And with this weapon, it kind of does that. It kind of just automatically, or like certain weapons like the lance, it'll sidestep, or if your if your character's looking forward and you wanna attack backwards, it'll do like a backstep hit. Same thing with the gunlance. If you you know use a shelling in any direction, you'll actually go that direction. So there's like omnidirectional movement in a sense when you're attacking with some of these weapons. Um, yeah, like Sword and Shield has it, Hammer has it, Gunlance has it, Lance has it, Switch X I think has it. Oh, most of these weapons have it. Insect Glaive I think has it as well, but Insect Glaive is just clunky. I feel bad putting Insect Glaive in D, guys. I feel bad. Yeah, there. There's the tier list. There it is. It's absolute cinema. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Peace out. Yeah, yeah.